My client, Mr. Yeo, who is in his 60s, had a rare condition where loose bodies of cartilages accumulated in one of his knees. Some doctors call this snowstorm knee because of how the knee shows up on x-rays. He previously had 2 arthroscopies to remove the loose bodies in the knee over the course of 5 years. He had pain in his knee even when walking. Stairs is where he struggled the most as it will produce sharp pain. So he had to walk up and down stairs sideways, almost like a crab, just to avoid the pain. I helped his knee recover with my 3-phase program. Watch till the end of the video as I'll be going through the mobility and strength exercises in the first phase of his rehab. Timestamps are available in the descriptions below. If you want to just skip right to the exercises, you can go ahead and do that. Mr. Yeo was referred to me for strength and mobility training after his 2nd arthroscopy. Now when I first accessed his knee was clicky with movement, which meant that the knee joint wasn't gliding smoothly. Now when the joint clicks, it means that there is friction and the bones are not moving smoothly over each other. I identified 2 causal factors. His kneecap was facing outwards, which meant that there was some muscle activity happening up in the hip that was causing this turn of the thigh bone outwards, which results in the knee turning outwards. Next, the front view of his knee showed that there was an excessive twist in the knee bones going on. His femur, the thigh bone, was turning inwards while the shin bones was excessively turning outwards. Let me explain how we got there. Human locomotion is 90% going forward. So if you have your knees turned out like so, in order to keep going forward, the foot has to push into the ground by contacting the inside part of the foot in this manner to propel you forward. Now as a result of this, the shin bone will be rotated out in order to make contact with this instep. This will cause torquing at the knee, and this will cause knee mechanics to malfunction. As you bend your knee, the shin bone will have to rotate inwards. But in his case, shin bone will not be able to rotate inwards. And this is further aggravated when he goes upstairs where the more knee bend is required, which explains why he feels more pain when he's going up and down stairs. The first step was to decompress the right hip by getting him in a right side lying position. He has his left foot pushing against the wall and going through breath cycles. Now what this position does is that it uses the ground to decompress the hip to promote some expansion at the back of the hip, and that will get the thigh bone to rotate inwards and have the knee facing forward again. I made him go through 8 breath cycles, focusing on long inhales and exhales, making sure he feels his side abdominal engaged with each exhale. Also, with every inhale, I want him to push a bit harder using his left foot into the wall and maintain that pressure. The second exercise focuses directly on the knee joint itself. We want this normal knee bending movement to occur. The shin bone should be able to turn in as the thigh bone rotates during a knee bend. I utilize this heel sliding activity to initiate the process. I got him to put on socks because we need a smooth surface in order for the heel to slide smoothly. I cued him on pressing down strongly with his heel to get his hamstring and his glute turned on a little bit. Then I got him to turn his foot in to rotate the shin bone inwards. Now in this exercise, you should feel more of the inner hamstring coming on. Be careful not to let the knee turn in while you are doing this, because the thigh bone has to be rotating out in a knee bend and not the other way around. So as you are bending and straightening, pressing down on the heel pressure, we got to keep the knee turned out and the foot turned in. I got him to go for 15 reps, focusing on pressing down strongly, and by the end, he felt quite a lot of activation in the hamstrings. Here is the third and final exercise in phase 1. We are focusing on working the entire chain, which is the entire leg, basically bringing in all the previous elements that we worked on to make sure we drive that stimulation for the body to produce the adaptation that we want. I got Mr. Yeo to have his front foot elevated on a book. He held on to a chair for support. I cued him to stay heavy on the heel as he slowly moved his knee forward. This is crucial. This knee forward movement should be paired with a slight hinge at the hip. I gave him this cue of moving the hips back as if he was trying to open a door behind him with his hip. Once the hips are far back enough, I got him to drop the opposite side hip slightly lower and hold for 3 reps of 10 seconds. When you do this right, you're going to feel a nice glute burn with no knee pain at all. Highly important that you don't feel any knee pain. You might have been going too low or bringing your knee too far back. So make sure you have your knee slightly forward and staying heel heavy throughout. So these are the 3 exercises I got him to do in the first phase of his rehab. If you want clearer explanation on each of the exercises, I have linked them in the video descriptions below. Now fast forward to today, Mr. Yeo is doing his morning walks and even mountain hiking. Walking up and down stairs is no longer an issue, and you can see all this in the testimonial letter he wrote me, and I'm very proud of it. I basically brought him through the 3 phases of my knee restoration program, which has worked wonders for many of my knee pain clients. I'm putting the link in the video descriptions below again if you are interested. If you are someone who suffers from knee pain and have been told by healthcare practitioners that the solution to your pain is avoiding a certain activity, then I think you need to stop seeing them. Progressive overloading in vulnerable positions is how we build up the resiliency. Our bodies will heal when given the right stimulus. Take control of your knee pain now. Give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you have found this video helpful. This is Gary, signing out from Penultimate Performance. See you in the next one.